What up, what up? I'm back like Prime Time's hairline. It's your boy, I'm your host, Draper J, aka Brother Baldhead, aka The Mustache Menace, aka Mr. Brown Sipper. Alright, now, I want to talk about what Brandon Beane has done assembling this cast of free agents that I feel like that he's done a great job of bringing them in 2 years or so, 3 years or so. Their contracts expire at the right time when we may have to sign pivotal pieces that have gotten us to where we need to be. And I think that will help us to sustain success. There's a lot of S's. I keep using all those S's. But we can sustain success. So in Brandon Beane, we trust. So he seems like he's put together a great offseason and getting us the right pieces in place, the right mixture of veteran guys, the right mixture of, maybe some guys that we probably like, just give them a chance. They were a high draft pick somewhere else. And, maybe they could flourish here. If not, we're done with them maybe in a year or two. All right, now, the biggest thing that happened in the offseason, which you should know. If you're a Bills fan, you don't know this. Where have you been? But we traded for Stefon Diggs. We traded away a first-round pick. We traded away we traded away a fifth and a sixth this year. First, fifth, and a sixth this year, and a fourth round next year. And I mean, some people may look like, man, that's too much. We only giving up a first round. We get to pick in at least each and every round. We have 2 6s, and we have a 7th round. So, and I believe in Brandon Beane that we can find some hidden gems later on in the draft. He's shown that he's been able to done this, i.e. Matt Milano, Tyron Johnson. Who would ever thought those guys would be very good players, and to the point that we might have to make a decision when their contract's up. But the meat of the whole free agency for us is Stefon Diggs. Okay, now, let me give y'all the whole rundown of that day when we got Stefon Diggs. Because the whole day it was quiet. We had DeAndre Hopkins getting traded for just a second rounder. So I'm looking like, man, damn, what are we gonna do? We just quiet. Then I see we signed AJ Klein. Okay. I was like, okay, that's probably what Beane is gonna do. Now I kind of had my mind set on it. That big baller Beane, he's not really gonna make the splash. He might, pick up a phone and see what's going on, but he really is not gonna he's not going to do anything as far as unless the contracts or whatever is sitting right. And like I said, I did a piece in this earlier in one of my earlier shows. You can go check it out on Stefon Diggs and how I felt like he would fit in this offense. So once we picked up Stefon Diggs, my mind got to working. So let me just give you his numbers from last year. 63 receptions, 1,130 yards, 6 touchdowns. Now, do you understand if you put this guy with someone like John Brown, Smoke? He was our number 1 receiver last year. Really is not a natural number 1, but he was a number 1. So just in case if Stefon Diggs gets hurt for an extended period of time this season, he can step right in. We won't miss a beat. We made it to the playoffs with Smoke this year, but he's able to move over to that number 2. So it's like pick your poison. Just like I said, I stated earlier in my earlier show. Pick your poison with either one of these two. You can double John Brown and you can let Stefon Diggs go off. Double Stefon, you got John Brown. And if you just so happen to be able to cover either one of these guys at the same time, you got Cole Beasley. Cole Beasley right there in the slot. Now he's able to actually move over to his natural position, slot. Then let's not forget about we got Dawson Knox. Let's hope he takes another step in his offense. And this kind of made me think, even in my earlier shows, I thought about, what if Dable, he likes to incorporate a lot of gadgetry in his offense. So what if this pickup doesn't do anything but helps further the growth of that offense? Maybe some of these probably think man, it's another toy I can use. Something else I can kind of give Josh another weapon out there, of course. But somebody else I can use maybe as a decoy on some plays, or I can use in say he likes to do. You got a receiver that can do reverses, jet sweeps. You got a running back in Devin Singletary that can split out wide as a receiver, or he can line up in the backfield, catch it out of the backfield, or he can run it. Then you got a quarterback that can do design runs. What if, the gadgetry offense I spoke of, what if, and I hear people asking, like, what is our identity on offense? And I thought about, now we got Stefon Diggs. Are we a pass heavy offense? Or are we a run heavy offense like we've been in the past? What if our identity is like a Swiss Army knife offense? Just think about that. You really don't know what we're going to line up and do from play to play. We might line up traditional, but end up doing something different. Just like last year we played the Texans. They weren't looking for Josh Allen to catch a touchdown on them. That's why that play was so wide open, because they were not prepared for it. So just think, and I'm not saying even though Dable, people may think, Dable, he was a part of the Patriots tree. He going to try to make this into a Tom Brady offense. Yeah, cool, I hear you. But what if he's actually thinking beyond and above the curve of what everybody else is thinking? Like, let's try to do something that no one's expecting, and let's make this offense a Swiss Army knife offense. To week to week, you really don't know what you may be expecting. I'm gonna hit you with one trick play a game. You just got to be ready for it. So what if we do that? That's just something to think about. I mean, let's just think about that. If we incorporate an offense like that, and we're able to sustain drives better than what we were last year, where we can't just keep going 3 and out or just getting 3 points. Well, we getting 7. Then we hit you with the okie doke, something that you're not looking for, with Stefon Diggs, with John Brown, with Cole Beasley, with a design run from Josh Allen. This offense is set. The way the AFC is set up, this offense is set to make a nice playoff run. The defense is already all world. They championship caliber already. We just need the offense to catch up. And if this move right here with Stefon Diggs, I mean, just think about this. You got Stefon Diggs on your team, Buffalo Bills fan. You got Stefon Diggs out there. Okay, so just think about this. Stefon Diggs, he can give you the intermediate, the short routes, and run them just like any slot in the league. And he can give you that deep game. And he can give you like a contested catch. So I mean, that's the everything you need out of your number one. Someone who can run every route of the route tree. And when you're in trouble as a quarterback, you're gonna look to the guy you're most comfortable with. And I'm hoping when they get in training camp, they get that timing down, they get that trust and all that good stuff down. Cause Josh has shown, even with Smoke, with John Brown, that when I trust you, I'm just gonna throw it up to you. Let's think about that Baltimore game. Just think if instead of that last pass, could have been pass interference from Marcus Peters, but it's the pass is the pass. It happened. We lost that game, but just think if that was Stefon Diggs. Do you think that? Do you believe that there would have been the same outcome? Myself, I would like to believe that it would have been a different outcome. Contested passes are his thing. Circus catches, miracle catches. Those are the things that you want out of your number one. Now he has a chance to be that true number one. True enough, he shared a little spotlight with Adam Thielen. That was his boy, but he may have wanted a more number 1A role instead of maybe a 1B at times, or maybe you are the centerpiece of the passing game. But let's not forget, you don't have two slouches over there with you. You have John Brown and Cole Beasley. So you got those two with you, so it's going to always keep a little pressure off of you. So with this offense, with Stefon Diggs being inserted, it's going to be more or less like a pick your poison. You want to double into one of them, you're going to have two other guys wide open. Cole Beasley is going to continuously move the chain. John Brown is going to be able to either hit you with the intermediate, keep the chain moving, or he's going to be able to burn you deep. Stefon Diggs, just give him the ball in space sometimes, a short route, intermediate. He can make a big play out of it. So I mean, the sky's the limit for our offense, and I know Josh Allen has to be licking his chops or whatever to the fact that he's actually gonna get a chance to play with somebody of this caliber in his career. Just think about the receiving core that we had when he first came here. We had Kelvin Benjamin, Zay was coming along, Robert Foster. They was just a bunch of no names. Now, only one who's still withstanding from that is Robert Foster, but he's pretty much, I believe, gonna be a camp body. We brought him back along with Isaiah McKenzie. Isaiah may be like a stash on the practice squad type guy. Because if the future is, to me, if we try to do that Swiss Army knife offense, just because I feel like or I believe this, don't mean it's gonna happen. But if somebody gets injured, hurt, spelled, need a little breather, whatever, you can throw Isaiah McKenzie in. The offense should still work. So pretty much to the same stamp. So let's move on to Mario Addison, the end. 34 tackles last year, 9.5 sacks. Vernon Butler, 32 tackles, 6 sacks. Quentin Jefferson, 26 tackles, 3.5 sacks. So now those three names, kind of what I figured that Brandon Beane would end up doing is on the simple fact because I think with Jordan Phillips and Shaq Lawson, they had pretty much Shaq. I felt like we had a better chance of bringing it back because it was like 1 year of production, or whatever, and it was 6.5 sacks from a position that's very volume heavy. If you want to really go get money in the off season, 6.5 sacks, that's cool, but to us as Bill fans, that was like big because we never seen him even get 2 sacks, 3 sacks. Maybe he have. I haven't looked up his stats here recently, but what I'm saying is, I thought maybe Shaq was gonna probably maybe come back to earth, or somebody out there was gonna probably be pretty much like, nah, this is one of your production. We're not gonna pay you big money, and not know if you really this guy because of contract year or because of what. It's easy to buy in on a contract year. When you buy in on a contract year, you already know what you got coming down the line if you really gonna ahead and ball out. Same thing with Jordan Phillips. We brought him back on another 1 year prove it there. He proved it, 9.5 sacks. He showed flashes, but he was basically like just a pass rusher. 9.5 sacks. I'm not gonna sneeze at it. I'm not gonna say it's like because we got 9.5 sacks, just only was just like pass rushing situation that he's not he won't be able to be like a Hall of Fame talent or whatever, but it's 1 year production. So with those three names I just named, Mario Addison, Vernon Butler, Quentin Jefferson, I kind of had a feeling that was maybe Beane's strategy. Just in case we lose these guys, what's going to be the exit strategy? So I think with Beane, I want to say that he manipulates the cap pretty well. Just think a lot of these contracts, 2-3 years, then they come up right at when the new CBA, I think when the new CBA comes up and the cap springs up a little bit more. So maybe we may need to make a decision on Michael Hyde. Then we've already signed Jordan Poyer back for another 2-year extension. So he's locked in for 3 seasons. Josh Allen. So just in case, if Josh Allen is that guy, we can easily just hand over 25 or maybe even 30 million. I think by that time when Josh Allen's contract up, 30 million will be that new landmark of like when you're supposed to be that dude. At least if you get at least 30, you 30, 35, you pretty much set. And I think Pat Mahomes when his contract is up, he's gonna break the bank. He's gonna be about and that's this year. I want to say after this year. So, yeah, I think they're probably going to pick up their 5th-year rookie option with him. A smart GM, to me, would, because it probably isn't going to cost you as much as it's going to cost you. So, if they pick up that 5th-year option, then hit him with the extension. That's kind of what I'm hoping we do as far as with Trey. Go ahead, set the mark, but, you're letting other guys sign in front of him. And it's going to be very costly. So that's why I say when Brandon Beane structuring these contracts the way they are, by the time we get around to like you got You got D-Dog. You know, Deion Dawkins, his contract year is this year right here. Then coming up after that, Trey. Well, Trey is this year also as well. But I see them extending that 5th-year rookie option. First round, and you get that 5th-year rookie option, and then maybe extending on to that. Now they may end up probably making him the richest corner at that point in time. Then you come back and the year after next, then you have Josh Allen. His contract is up. So Brandon Beane, I think, is structuring these contracts well to the point to where, okay, I'm giving us that wiggle room. I'm giving us that window that we need. I'm giving us like a 3-4 type year window. And I say 3 years, 2 or 3 years on these contracts, plus whatever we may pick up in the draft these next 2 seasons. And, you know, we'll be able to come back, sign some of our own that we already drafted. So, I mean, that should be that should be an easy decision for Brandon Beane when it comes time to, hopefully, if all these guys just, you know, ball out. All right? So, Quentin Jefferson, Vernon Butler, Mario Addison. And I'm going to pose a question to y'all. Out of those 3, who you think will be that stud on the defensive line? I'm kind of leaning towards a little bit more of Quentin Jefferson. I think Quentin Jefferson may be that guy, kind of like a replacement of a Jordan Phillips, maybe an upgrade. Maybe are we going to keep doing that throughout these years with Brandon Beane? Is he going to keep finding those maybe disgruntled defensive tackles that want to show how hungry they are, former first round, give you about 1 year of production, that want to prove it? Is that going to be his deal leading all the way through this regime? Hopefully it keeps paying dividends though. Hopefully, you know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking in between, to me, Vernon Butler, Quentin Jefferson. Only reason why I say Mario Addison isn't in it because he's a little bit older, and by the time his contract is up, we may re-sign him back for a year or so. But after this contract is up 2 or 3 seasons, I think it's over with Mario Addison. But who knows? I'm not a NFL scout GM. I can't tell you. He might play for the next 5, 6, 7 years. So who knew Tom Brady would play this long? All right, now moving along to A.J. Klein, which is a good fill-in role spot pickup, whatever you want to call it, for as far as Lorenzo Alexander, and then it's like a good depth pickup because, you know, he can fill in for Tremaine Edmonds, he can fill in for Matt Milano. You know what I'm saying? And I believe we won't miss a beat. He had 67 tackles last year, 2.5 sacks, and, you know, one interception. So A.J. Klein, I think that might be like a sneaky pickup for us because he can kind of do a little bit of everything. He can kind of maybe rush the quarterback, run, stop, drop back in the coverage. So I think that's going to be like one of those. I believe A.J. Klein is going to be like a poor man's Matt Milano, if that makes sense. I mean, when I say a poor man's Matt Milano, because Matt, he's pretty much like, he is a linebacker that makes all the other linebackers good by the little small things that he does. And AJ probably is going to elevate the other two, and Tremaine and Matt, and elevate their game because of the small things that he does that they won't have to worry about. So I think AJ Klein was a pretty good pickup. All right, let's jump into the honorable mentions. All right, Josh Norman, hell of a signing, very great pickup on as far as, like, you know, being able to play that second corner position. Him and Levi, I believe, are gonna probably be battling day one. And then and I said in my last show, 2 positions that I would like for us to pick up. Another corner, in comes EJ Gaines, and another lineman, preferably an offensive tackle, in comes Darrell Williams. The exact same week as I dropped that video or in that podcast. So, and my reasoning behind that is EJ Gaines, I never thought we'd go back after EJ Gaines, but when he played the opposite of Trey, those are pretty decent bookends. I mean, that's somebody who's a solid starter. You won't really have to worry too much about his side. He can push Levi and Josh Norman for that second corner position, which I'm loving the fact that this new regime is competition. Your position isn't safe, so you better get out there, show and prove. And he also can push Tyron Johnson for that slot corner. Tyron Johnson is a good player. I like him. He's very solid. I like how the grit he has, and he has very much a lot of heart when he plays. But I mean, he's not always available. So I mean, in the NFL, that means not for long. You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna have to be able to stay on the field, or you're gonna be out of here. So EJ is gonna make sure. I think EJ is somebody that kind of keep a lot of those aforementioned names, like Josh Norman, Levi Wallace, like Tyron Johnson. Keep you looking over your shoulder, because if you slip up, get injured, whatever, he's gonna step right in and take some. So, and then us as Bills fans, we shouldn't be upset at it. We shouldn't get hung up on a player who plays where or whatever, long as we getting the best 52, 53, 55, how many ever that suit up on Sunday on the field. Because that's what's going to end up getting us to where we want to be, the promised land. Now, let's jump over to Darrell Williams. And the same deal with Darrell Williams. I wanted, like, competition. Cody Ford. We don't need nobody going to their second season comfortable. You halfway played decent last year, Cody, over there at right tackle. Ty Nsekhe, you 34, 35 this year. You're really not a spring chicken, as like we like to say in the South. You're not young, so who knows? Next to that injury last year, did you sustain last year, might be the one that may end it all. You may have to end up calling it quits soon. So, hey, you still got Darrell Williams over here. He played up and down that offensive line. Last season, he was like one of the top offensive tackles that everybody was looking for. And I really wanted him last year amongst the Trent Williams fiasco, because I knew we had to get better on offensive line. Darrell Williams is somebody who, honestly, I really was looking forward to us maybe trying to sniff it, and because of the Carolina connection. So you got somebody you can bring in day one. I believe he's had his injuries or whatnot, but he does have starting caliber DNA. You know what I'm saying? He can play. He can't play in this league. He has started. So he may be at that point in his career where he may feel like, well, let me at least, okay, I'll sit on the bench, but as soon as I get my chance, I'm going to take a position from somebody. So that's why I'm glad we went and picked him up. So now Cody Ford, Ty Nsekhe, at the right offensive tackle, somebody gonna have to tighten up, because you got a guy like that who's hungry and is willing to show he can still play. Then Cody Ford, I'm hearing that he may even be in play for that right guard position. So if he over there and play for the right guard position, who we have already at right guard? John Feliciano. So Feliciano, that one position battle pushes another person over to battle John Feliciano. And also, like I said, Darrell Williams played all up and down that line. So they give us flexibility too. So Feliciano, if you're not ready for this season, you got two guys that's gonna push you, and it's gonna give us the best starting five out there. And then I think if we get the best starting five, then that's gonna push Josh's play to the next level. You give him time. He's shown he's patient. He's starting to get that patience now. He's starting to have to. He's not bailing out as much. He runs, but he's not bailing out as much. There's gonna be a part of his game, but when he has that time, he's able to pick him off, pick your poison or whatever. And that's what he's gonna end up doing this year with Stefon Diggs, John Brown, Cole Beasley. You know the deal. You know the triple. So I don't need to go over them anymore. But so with Darrell Williams, that was a great pickup. And that still puts heat on everybody on the offensive line. Hell, Deion Dawkins, you might need to watch yourself. He might play left tackle. Quentin Spain, I'm glad we signed him back. That was a great re-sign, I believe. Give him, because that left side was solidified, was solid. But hey, it's not solid. It's not etched in stone. Mitch Morse. All right, Mitch Morse, if you slip, you got Darrell Williams right there. Or if Mitch Morse gets hurt, I mean, then we got Spencer Long, which I really agree that we bring somebody like that back, somebody who can play guard and center. And I like the versatility of this team. So, with all that being said, I'm very proud of how Brandon Beane is putting together this roster for the 2020 season. Hopefully, we get a chance to see it on time. And with the COVID-19 pandemic, please stay in the house, stay safe, wash your hands, and practice social distancing. And just stay safe out there. And hopefully this whole situation is over with before we know it. We can get back to our normal life as usual, and sports on TV or whatever it may be. Hopefully everything is over within these next 2 or 3 months. I'm gonna say 2 or 3 months because it seems like it's gonna stretch out for a minute. I'm just buckling myself in for the long ride, hopefully. And by July, August, September, everything's over. So that's the show. I thought I'd just jump on, hit you with a free agency recap. And I'm out of here like last year. Peace.